Welcome folks, thank you for joining me again at the House of Baylord, and today I'm going to tell you how to make money making soap. This is one of the ventures that I'm in. It is an income source that I have. It's a hobby that I made into money, and I want to share that with you. I want to give you some tips on how you can take a hobby that's easy to do and to make some extra income. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna tell you how to make soap because you can find that on other Google pages. YouTube pages. I'm just gonna tell you the economics of how to make soap and why is it worth it for you to do it. The thing is, you gotta start with the ingredients. You see, they are pretty reasonably priced, and what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna break down the cost per unit and how much it sells for and everything on my on this link, okay? But you need to start with a mold. Now this is a mold I bought. It's Crafter's Choice. I got it on sale. It's actually $20. You don't need to buy this. When I started, I didn't even have this. You could use like a bread loaf mold. You can buy like a dollar store or something. But this is a more professional mold. But again, you know, when you start, you don't have to use it. The most important parts are you need to get olive oil. Now, the kind of olive oil I have, this is 3 liters, and I paid $8 for this. The funny part is it's called pomace. That is the grade of olive oil. Pomace for cooking is not that great. It's like the lowest grade there is, but for soap making, it's actually pretty good. This is actually what you want. And how its consistency is, it's easier to trace, meaning that it is easier to form into soap. And to be honest with you, the chemical process to make soap will mute any properties that like higher grade. It just doesn't make sense to spend more money on that. This is actually the most expensive ingredient I have because I can't find a cheaper source. There are some, but I can't. I got it from Walmart. It's called British Class Coconut Oil. Coconut oil is a very important part. Okay, if you find a cheaper source, please by all means take it. Now I paid $2.45 for this. This is 500 milliliters. I have to buy a lot of it. Okay, so it is actually quite pricey. But hey, what are you gonna do? Another ingredient you need is tender flake. Well, the brand is called Tender Flake. This is lard, and I paid for $2 for this. It's for 454 grams of lard. So, okay, now there's 2 trains of thought that I wanna express to you. Some people don't like using lard. They don't like the fact that you're using animal fats, so they subsidize that with palm oil. Palm oil is very hard to find in the supermarket, and the whole point of this is trying to give you the lowest price. So if you think you have clients that don't want lard, then you're gonna have to find that on the internet, basically. It costs somewhat the same depending on the quantity, but it's the delivery charge that's gonna kill you, right? So that's the key. Lastly, is a lye. You need 100% lye. I bought this from a company called Home Hardware in Canada. Actually, I paid a lot for it. I could have gotten it cheaper, but again, this is not. I'm not manufacturing this in mass quantities. But I paid. It's 3 kilos. Yeah, that's right, 3 kilos. I paid like $30 for it, and actually, it is quite pricey, but. And lastly, you're gonna need some sort of set. I bought this from New Directions. It's in Canada, but you might want to find someplace cheaper for you. I think it was like $20. I got 500 milliliters for it. You can use essential oils. You could. It's more expensive. Some people like that. In terms of scent, there's not much of a difference. The only thing is you could say it has certain properties, and if you're going to use that, then you could definitely increase your price, okay? Like for example, tea tree, peppermint, and its actual essential oil is it's quite good. But you gotta understand, there's a cost benefit analysis you have to reconsider. Now, the only drawback, and this is for somebody that has a lot of time, because this actually does take some time. This is a process called cold processed soap, meaning that it's just using chemicals. I'm not cooking anything. I'm just blending it, but it takes about 6 weeks at the minimum for you to get your product ready. Meaning that it has to, once it dries hardens within 24, 48 hours, then you can cut it into bars, and then you have to dry it. I recommend a shoe rack, probably from Walmart too, because you could dry a lot of soap in it. It leaves a lot of air circulation, and it hardens. You probably want to do that. So that's the only drawback. It does take time, but if you have a lot of time and room, you can definitely do that. Now, at the minimum, okay, you could sell a bar of soap for $5 at the minimum, and I'm using very conservative numbers with what I just showed you right here. As long as it does two things: it has a nice smell and it has nice coloring. Coloring you can find in your kitchen. It could be like paprika, natural stuff. Just keep in mind the natural stuff sometimes change over time. Things that are dark become lighter or change in different colors. So just be aware of that. You have to find out by experimenting, or probably on the internet, and see what natural things change. Sometimes they just disappear. It's funny that way. I've used parsley leaves or something, flakes. They're nice, beautiful when they came out, and then they literally disappear. It's bizarre. So okay, so at $5, you do the math. This mold will probably get you 8 to 9, probably around 8 though. At $5 with all the ingredients, you make a nice chunk of change. So yeah. Now in terms of marketing, that's something else I'm going to explore later on. But I'm just saying, in terms of cost analysis, soaping is actually quite profitable. It's easy to do. Anyone can do it. You don't take a lot of equipment to make all the stuff you can find in your house. The only thing is, and again, you gotta overcome this, is the fact that you're using lye. And the process, you need a lot of safety equipment. When I say safety equipment, meaning goggles and no exposed skin, okay? Because you don't want any of that stuff hitting you, okay? So that being said, thank you for your time. If you like what I'm offering you, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time.